Hey guys, welcome to the Hangar Online. It is good to be with you again on this Sunday night. It's a special night. It's a big night for us for many ways, because of many things, I should say. One is this is our last night of small groups for the year. So I know they're virtual. I know it's not what we wanted, but I hope you can make the best of your last small group of this summer until we start again in the fall. And of course, tonight we are continuing to celebrate our seniors all week long. We've been posting about them. I hope you've been giving them some love. If you haven't seen those, hope you'll go back and check them out and give them a little bit of love tonight. We're going to continue to celebrate them tonight. We've got a special video we're going to show you later. And of course, we're hearing from another one of our seniors tonight, Emery. So we're excited about that. And in just a few minutes, we have a special guest worship leader, a great friend of the Hangar and a super great friend of Chris. And so we're going to introduce Alex to you guys here in a few minutes. But as always, we want to get started with our game, okay? And this game was pretty fun this week, okay? We had Ella and Jess play Jilly, okay? It's a pretty fun game. They played Family Feud. So check this out, and we'll be back with some worship here in just a minute. Hey guys, how's it going? Look, we are ready to play another game tonight, and it's Jess and Ella versus Jilly.
Hi.
This should be good. So we're playing Family Feud, and it's Summer Family Feud questions, okay? And it is this question. You guys can see it. Name a color associated with summer, all right? So, Jilly, you get to go first. Name a color that you think is associated with summer. We'll see if it's on the board.
Yellow.
Yellow. Yes, the highest one is yellow.
Dang.
Very good. So you get to keep going. You get to keep going. Let's see if you can get the category. Name another color associated with summer.
Blue.
Yes.
Wow.
Very good. Very good. Keep going.
Oh gosh. Pink.
Pink. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
That's 3 of the 4. There's one more left. One more left.
Green.
Not green. Jess, if you can get the color right, you're going to steal this whole thing from Jilly, even though she dominated.
Goodness. Let's see. We had orange. We had yellow. We had blue,
yellow, blue, and pink.
Pink. So let's go with red.
Red? No, I'm sorry. Jilly, you get one more shot to get it back. What do you think it is?
Orange.
Yes! Woo! Good job.
Let's go.
Good job. Way to go. Jilly wins round 1. All right, Jess, you get to go first in this next round. The question is, okay, now can you see it? Now, popular summer sport? All right.
Yeah. Jet ski.
Jet ski. No, that's not up there.
I must not be thinking of the right kinds of sports.
All right, Jilly, you get a chance to take it here. What do you think?
Volleyball, like beach volleyball.
That's one. You got that right.
You've got a ball.
Okay. What next one? What do you think the next one is?
I want to do surfing.
What's that?
Surfing.
Surfing. No, surfing is not one. Jess, you get the chance to take this over. Popular
summer sport. Baseball?
Yeah.
All
Nice
right.
job. Nice job. Nice job. You get to keep going.
Let's see. Summer sports. Swimming?
Swimming. Yeah.
All right.
Nice job. Nice job.
What about water skiing?
No. All right, Jilly, you can take this over.
Okay, how about biking?
No biking. All right, so the rest of the answers were tennis and golf.
Oh.
Tennis and golf. All right, next question. All right, here we go. Name a popular pool toy. And Jilly, you get to start this time. Name a popular pool toy.
Pool noodles.
Pool noodles. Yes, that was a good one. That was way up there. All right, you get to keep going.
Okay. Water guns.
Water guns. Not up there. Not up there. Jess?
Raft.
A raft. Yeah, I think this counts. Air mattress. Yes.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
not the way I would have described it, but okay.
You can keep going.
How about rings? Like you like the toss, you like dive.
Yes.
Yeah, diving rings.
Very
Yeah.
good. Wow. There's only
And
one
but
more answer.
it's
One
the
more.
first one. The number one answer is what's left. What about a ball, like a beach ball?
Yes, beach ball.
All right.
Very
Great.
good. Very good.
Yay.
Okay, one more category. Here we go. Name something you cook on a barbecue grill. Jilly, who went first last time? No, Jilly did, right?
Mm.
All right, Jess. Something you cook
Burgers.
on a barbecue grill.
Burgers.
Yes. Very good.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs. Yes. Very good.
Chicken.
Yes.
What else goes on the grill?
Yummy.
Steak.
Yes, that's 4.
Pizza.
No, not pizza. Jilly, you can take this category away from her.
Oh gosh. Ribs.
Yes.
Hey.
Nice job. Nice job. Very good. Very, very good. Now there's 2 more, but you took that over, so you got the win. It was sausages and fish. All right, guys, you did great. Good job. Thanks for playing.
Thank you. That was fun.
See you later.
Talk to you guys later. Bye, Jelly.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Hey guys, that was pretty fun. I always feel like when we play these games that you guys are always better than me than I can ever play, and so I don't know. I may never play another game. Just having you guys there is so much better. So it was fun. It was good. It was good. Kind of hard to come up with some of those though, so it was good. So we are excited tonight to welcome in a good friend of the Hangar and a great friend of Chris Kim, and that is Alex Nifong. And now Alex is joining us all the way tonight from Atlanta, Georgia. And of course, the reason that Alex is joining us tonight is we love him, and he's filling in for Chris, and you guys all know why, right? Right? Did you miss it? Did you miss it? Did you not see Instagram this week? I hope you did. But we're welcoming a new worship leader to the Hangar, a little small one. It's a little tiny worship leader. And if you didn't see this week, here we go, everybody. Here she is. Welcome, Emery June Kim. Chris sent me this picture a little while ago. Amazing picture of the beautiful little baby. Lindsay and Chris are doing pretty well, except I don't know if you guys know this, but when you have a baby, you just never ever sleep again until they're 17. So good luck with that. That's going to be interesting. Good luck with that, Chris. You can do it. But there she is, you guys. Beautiful little Emery June Kim. Wanted to show you that. So we're excited for Chris. We can't wait can't wait to see her running around here like Ella does. That'll be fun, right? So guys, we are so happy and blessed, lucky to have Alex with us tonight. As I say, I've known Alex. It's been a long time. I haven't seen you for a while, but known you for a long time through Chris. And we're just excited to have you here and lead us in worship tonight. So guys, say hello to Alex. He's going to lead us in worship. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, just as we start tonight, I want to start with the words of this old hymn you may or may not be familiar with. I'm going to bet probably not, but it's really simple chorus that I just want to teach you. And I think it's a great confession for us, especially in this season with everything going on. I mean, not only is it crazy in both of our cities, but even right now outside it's storming like crazy. So I'm hoping my internet holds out, or my computer and my power. So the beautiful thing about worship, though, is it just provides us with an opportunity to sing these confessions to God and just center all of our attention and our thoughts on Him. And remember that amidst all the craziness that's going on, He's not surprised and He's not shaken at all from His throne. And His love for us never changes, no matter what. So the invitation for us tonight is just take a few moments and just look at Jesus and to hear what He has to say to us. So let me teach you this little chorus. And turn your eyes upon Jesus. Look full in His wonderful face, and the things of earth will grow strangely dim in the light of His glory and grace. Just turn your eyes. So turn your eyes upon Jesus. Look full in His wonderful face, and the things of earth will grow strangely dim in the light of His glory and grace. And the things of earth, and the things of earth will grow strangely dim in the light of His glory and grace. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. You have been so, so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. You have been so, so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, right till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, and I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. No shadow you won't light up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, you won't tear down, coming after me. No shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. No shadow. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, fly you won't tear down, coming after me. Sing, I will build my life upon your love. It is a firm foundation. I will put my trust in you alone, and I will not be shaken. I will build my life upon your love. It is my firm foundation. I will put my trust in you alone, and I will not be shaken. Sing that he's worthy. Worthy of every song we could ever sing. Worthy of all the praise we will ever bring. Worthy of every breath we will ever breathe. We live for you. We sing his name, Jesus. Jesus, the name above every other name. Jesus, the only one who could ever save. He's worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. We live for you. 'Cause you're holy. There is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes and wonder. Show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. You're holy. There is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes and wonder. Show in you alone, and I will not be shaken, 'cause He is holy. You're holy, there is no one like you, there is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder, show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. Show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me with your love to those around me. Jesus, we remember the words of your Apostle John that said, we know and we rely on the love that God has for us. We don't have to know or rely necessarily on any other love or acceptance or approval, but yours, God. So though the whole world may reject us, God, we have a never-ending, crazy, reckless supply of love that just keeps coming. It never runs out on us, God. It's overwhelming. It's never-ending. It's your good, perfect love that casts out all fear and then enables us, full of your heart, to go out and love those around us like we just sang, God. So God, speak to us tonight as your word is shared. Come do what only you can, Lord God. We just worship you and glorify you and just give you all of our attention right now. And say you're the best thing we could focus on. Just reset our hearts, God, in this moment to you. To the rhythms of your grace, your love, your mercy. You said that in Matthew chapter 8. Just come to me if you're weary or burdened. And sometimes I just confess I'm kind of weary and burdened in this season of everything going on and even stuff personally in my own life. But I just come to you and I want to find rest for my soul. And I pray that we would all receive that invitation tonight, God. Yeah. It's in your name we pray. Speak to us. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Alex, thank you so much. We are so grateful to have you here tonight. And guys, it is good to worship with you. You know, guys, this is the time of year when things are just a little bittersweet for us, right? We're excited about the future for our seniors, but it's hard to say goodbye. And we know that we'll see them along the way, right? But it's been a long road that we have walked with many of them. And so many of you guys have made so many good friendships with them over the years. And so tonight, we are excited, though, that we get to hear from another one of our seniors for Senior Sunday, and that's Emery Hinkle. And so if you've been on our social media this week, you've seen a tribute to all of our seniors. But in case you missed it, and just one last time, we wanted you to see them. And so check out this video, and then Emery's going to bring us the message tonight. So check this out, guys.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind and hang them on a shelf for good health and good time. Tattoos and memories, dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. Something unpredictable, the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. Unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Hey guys, my name is Emery and I was a senior in the hangar this past year. Obviously this year didn't end as I had hoped or like anyone really had hoped, but regardless I still really wanted to come on here and talk with you guys just a little bit regarding my awesome experience with the hangar these past few years. So as I've been reflecting on my hangar experience and using all of this quarantine time, you know, to think about all of my high school experience just in general, I was thinking about the most pivotal moments in the hangar and what really changed, and I pinpointed about like 6 moments that really helped me grow and mature in my faith and really produced worthwhile change. And as I was thinking about all of these moments, I realized that they all had something in common, and that was that all of these moments were times that made me feel uncomfortable initially, or moments where I stepped outside of my comfort zone or did something that I didn't normally do. And so today I want to share with you some of those moments and how they helped me grow as a person, and then just talk about the importance of being uncomfortable. So the first moment that I want to talk about today that initially was uncomfortable and scary but produced like the most amazing experience was coming to the hangar for the first time. Obviously, you know, that's the most important one because of obviously what it all gave me. But for those of you that don't know, you guys may have heard this story in my testimony that I gave last year, but my hangar story started in sophomore year chemistry class. I was always in the same lab group with this lacrosse dude who honestly made me do the majority of the work. But I came to know this guy as Daniel Morris, and as we became friends and started talking more, we figured out we went to the same church. And then he started inviting me to the hangar, and after lots of convincing, I finally said yes. And I still remember my first time in the hangar like it was yesterday. I remember walking in and I was like, Daniel, what did you get me into? Because there was like strobe lights everywhere, like music was blasting, like kids were walking all around, there were so many people over in the old hangar and it was just like overwhelming at first. And this was super like abnormal for me and comfortable for me because one, I only knew Daniel, he was the only person I knew, and this was just not something I did, you know. I'm sure a lot of you guys know me as outgoing and a little bit crazy probably, but 3 years ago, I was not like that at all. I was a lot more shy, and I didn't really like to put myself out there, and so I would never go into like a whole new situation unless I had like 5 people that I knew by me that I could like cling to, you know, so I wouldn't be scared. I wouldn't have to talk to new people. So this was just really intimidating overall, and it was just overwhelming. But obviously, I mean, the growth from just that moment and pushing through the initial uncomfortability, if that's a word, the initial moment of just pushing through that is pretty obvious, and the results are obvious because it gave me 3 years with this amazing, loving, supportive community that has made high school so much more bearable. So that was just one moment, probably the very first one, that made me uncomfortable but produced some awesome changes and awesome results. My second moment would definitely be reaching out to new people. And this isn't necessarily one moment per se, but it's many moments that kind of made up my experience. Taking the chance to just approach random strangers, new people in the hangar, and just talk to them and hear from them and listen to them and share stories with them. It's really intimidating at first, you know, just walking up to some high school kid and saying what's up. But it gave me connections and friendships with people that I wouldn't have if it weren't for that stepping outside of my comfort zone, you know, instead of just staying with the people that I knew, the 3 or 4 people in my small group. You know, I'm so glad that I pushed myself to just meet new people, introduce myself to new people, because I would never have the friendships that I have today, the lasting friendships that I know will go far beyond the hangar, with peers and leaders alike, you know, not just kids my own age, but, you know, talking to Chris Kim, you know, connecting with him, Jess and Kyle and Jackie, and just everyone. I would never have so many of these relationships if it weren't for just stepping outside of my comfort zone and just going for it. My third moment of uncomfortability, I've decided I'm just going to make that a word for this talk, was the mission trip. Oh my gosh, the mission trip. This was definitely a step outside of my comfort zone. I had friends, of course, I had friends going on the trip, so I wasn't totally alone. But, you know, mission trips, they take you to a whole new level of bonding. You know, the people and the way that you start the week with those people is not the same way that you finish it. And you just reach a whole new level of connection that you didn't know exist. The mission trip allowed me to do so many new things. It allowed me to work and to serve in ways that I had never done before. I spent a week interacting with new people, new worship, lots of new things, you know, and some of it was exciting to do, and some of it was like not necessarily the greatest feeling, like sometimes uncomfortable, like sleeping in a freezing cold nursery in a church. Like, that wasn't the best. Like, getting up super early, that wasn't the best, you know, but I wouldn't trade it for the world, you know. Like, when I say it was the highlight of my 2019, like, I am not kidding. Like, it was the highlight of my 2019. I had the best time. I was so sad after the trip ended last year, and I was heartbroken to hear that the one this year was canceled. But that just goes to show you, like, how impactful, like, mission trips are, and I am really no exception. It gave me so much, though. It gave me much deeper friendships, both with the people on the trip, and I even made friends with the worship leader down there named Tom, who I still talk to this day. Unfortunately, Cohen isn't in that mix. I made some great memories with my friends, and I had the opportunity, most importantly, to take my faith deeper and be able to serve Jesus and make a difference in other people's lives. Overall, I think the most important lesson I learned from the mission trip is that serving Christ isn't about matching your exact preferences, your exact desires, and controlling all the circumstances to make you comfortable while you're serving. It's just about showing up and putting your needs aside and letting God do the work. Even if that means showering in a box like this big for a week in a trailer, like, that is what that means. It's all about that, and it really just taught me that it's not really about my comfort when it comes to serving. It's just about showing up and letting God do the work the way that He wants to. My fourth moment, there's only 6, I promise I won't go on forever. My fourth moment was speaking on stage for the very first time last year and giving my very first sermon. For those of you that don't know, I was able and had the privilege to give my testimony on stage at the hangar last year when I was a junior. And quick plug, if you want to see that, it's in my Instagram bio. And I also had the privilege of giving a sermon to middle schoolers for the very first time earlier, I think in February, right before this all happened. And let me tell you, like, those moments were just completely terrifying. Like, public speaking in general is, like, can be scary for everyone, right? But I think in the church it carries a little bit more responsibility. I don't want to misconvey Christ. I don't want to misconvey the Christian faith. You know, I didn't want to say the wrong thing. It was just very scary. I didn't want to be boring. I didn't want to talk too little. I didn't want to talk too much, you know, and I didn't want to trip. Like, what if I tripped and fall? You know, like, there was just so many worries that came through my mind. And to be honest, like, while I was planning it and the times leading up to both of those moments, I really questioned, you know, like, does it really matter? Like, are people going to even care what I have to say? Or is anything that I'm going to have to say meaningful, you know? And it just really doubted whether or not I would even make an impact at all. And it involved a lot of vulnerability, you know, especially with my testimony. I had never really shared that story with anyone before, and sharing it with a lot of high schoolers was definitely something that I wasn't just okay with doing and you know, so ready for, but it was a moment that I knew I needed to push myself in order to grow and expand my faith. And it truly taught me how to better trust God, to allow him to do the speaking through me, you know, and try not to control it myself. You know, it taught me to, again, just put my own needs aside. Who cares if I'm uncomfortable? It's all about the work that God is going to do through me and the speaking that he's going to do through me. And I just had to trust that he would use those moments for his divine purpose. Whether I got up there and spoke so eloquently and everything went off the way it should, which it didn't, or whether I got up there and made a complete fool of myself, you know? My fifth moment that really grew me was serving as a middle school leader, and then just as a leader in general. For those of you that don't know, sorry, I keep saying that. I was a middle school leader for 2 years in the Hub, and I was a member of the student leadership team in the Hangar for 2 years as well. And as a middle school leader, that was definitely out of my comfort zone, you know, when I signed up for it. I'm good with like babies and little kids, you know, because that's what I do for my job. So that's what I'm kind of used to, and that was my comfort zone. But, you know, middle schoolers, let me tell you, I struggled in middle school. I don't know a single person who didn't struggle in middle school. And so it's definitely very scary to think that, you know, you're kind of becoming a role model and a figure in their lives. It was very intimidating. You know, we had some crazy moments, you know, going through, you know, the Hangar 24s. I had like 13 teenage girls feasting on McDonald's in my basement at 3 a.m., you know, and if that doesn't terrify you, I don't know what will. Some awesome Hangar 24s, you know, but choosing to show up and answer their hard questions, you know, they've got some really, really hard questions, you know, that I had to do some research on and make sure I gave the right answers for, and just choosing to show up and be there for them throughout every circumstance, no matter what happened. It was a challenge, but it was a challenge, again, I wouldn't trade for the world. You know, I've made some awesome connections with those girls and the two women that I've had the privilege of co-leading with for the past 2 years. And it was just such an incredible experience, just being able to pour into these girls' lives and share my faith and be someone for them that I wish that I had in middle school. It was just so fulfilling, and it taught me so much about God's love for us and how to extend that to others and be inclusive and just bring everyone in to this awesome experience that is getting to know Jesus, you know? I am gonna miss those girls so, so much, and if I had known 2 years ago what I was like, the way that I would walk out of this experience, just being changed by these girls, I would not have believed you. You know, it was definitely scary. Middle schoolers are scary. That's just like a thing, like they are. And it was scary and intimidating, but you know, it really just grew my faith and taught me how to be accountable. The last moment, I'm sorry if I'm rambling, the last moment is probably the most heartbreaking one, the most pivotal moment, and that was the early end of my senior year. I am certainly not the only senior going through this. A lot of other seniors had to endure it as well. But we all lost some important traditions that we were really looking forward to. Prom, graduation, grad parties, all of that type of stuff. And even in this church, you know, some of us lost our very last mission trip. Some of us lost, you know, our last small group, or in person, at least our last in-person small group. And, you know, even for this talk today, when I imagined a senior Sunday, I imagined it in the Hangar, you know, like with everyone filled in the seats. I didn't imagine filming it in my bedroom, you know. These circumstances are very unfair, and it's hard to think that we'll never get back some of these moments. But it did, and it still is, in fact, teaching and growing me in tremendous ways. I thought I knew what trusting God was all about before this, but that was nothing compared to these past couple months, just having to fully rely on God. I had to learn how to trust God in new ways, how to find joy despite the really, really terrible circumstances. And I had to learn how to appreciate and focus on the amazing 3.5 years and the great experiences I had then, rather than the half of a year that I missed out on. it forced me to do all of those things. And it was an opportunity, most importantly, to spend uninterrupted time in his presence, listening and learning, rather than trying to, fit it in like a normal day with a busy schedule, And the end of my senior year, graduation, moving on to college, it was nothing like I'd imagined would be the culmination of 13 years of hard work and tests and quizzes and whatever. And it wasn't what any of us seniors deserved, but it brought me closer to the Lord so much. And that is way more valuable than any senior tradition that I missed out on. All 6 of these moments that I shared with you were moments where I was uncomfortable, where I was pushed outside of my comfort zone, where I wasn't necessarily okay with everything, where I wasn't necessarily thrilled with everything that was going on, or some of them are just moments that just scared me to just do and to make myself be vulnerable, put myself out there. But they were all moments that produced growth and maturity in my faith. Stepping outside of your comfort zone, it is very scary. It is very uncomfortable. It's the last thing that you want to do, but outside of your comfort zone is where God can work the most sometimes, truly. It leads to the most growth. It leads to the most change, the most worthwhile experiences. I encourage you today to do more things that make you uncomfortable, both here in the hangar and in your daily life. You never know where God is going to lead you or how he will bless others' lives through you when you just take the chance and show up and say, God, this is uncomfortable. This isn't what necessarily my exact preferences, my exact desires, but I'm choosing to show up and let you do the work through me. Before I go and before I wrap this up, I want to pass along I think there's like 6 small pieces of advice to those of you that are lucky enough to still have time left in the hangar. So I just want to give some small tips of advice right before I leave. My first piece of advice, I know some of you guys are just going to write this off because everyone says it in their senior Sunday talk and everyone says it when people ask for advice about the hangar, but the reason it's repeated so much is because it's true, and that is invest in your small group. It's corny and it's repeated a lot, but it's true. These people, they may not be who you would tend to gravitate towards in school or who you would normally be BFFs with, but that's kind of the point. You are able to just open your mind and be with new people and bond in so many different ways and form friendships that you would never think you'd be able to have outside of this. It gives you so many different points of view, so many different life stories, and overall, this support is essential. As Christians, we need community, and high school can be so hard, especially if you're living it as a Christian. And it is so important to just build up your small group, build up the girls in it, and make it a place of just escape and a place where to find love and to find advice and to find the support when you need it. And that all starts with you. That group cannot be a place of support and fun and encouragement if people don't show up to make that happen, right? So again, I'm going to repeat the corny saying, it's true. What you put into your small group is what you get out. It is so important, and it starts with you just by showing up every day and choosing to invest in others' lives and have other people invest in yours. Small group, it's about you, but it's also about what you can do for others and how you can support and build up the community of Christians. So that's my first tip. You can write it off if you want to, but ask any senior, it's true. You got to invest in your small group. My second piece of advice, again, this is a corny one, but it's go on the mission trips, all right? It was the highlight of my year in 2019. It truly, truly was. I was able to bond so closely with others, right? Like I talked about this earlier, but mission trips can be uncomfortable sometimes, but that's where you grow the most. Even if you go into the trip knowing no one, I promise you, you will come out of the trip having 20 to 30 best friends that you love and that you're able to connect with and you share some great memories with. Literally, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but I had a 2-year-old pee on me during this past mission trip, and I spent 8 hours with my shoes and my socks soaked in urine. But I would take it back. I would redo it all over again. I wouldn't change a thing because that is how great the mission trips were. My third piece of advice is to find a place where you can serve. Every single person in the hangar has a gift and something valuable to offer, and there's always a way that we can make the hangar better. You know, I mean, it's hard because the hangar is already pretty awesome, but there's always ways that we can improve, whether it's through production team, worship team, student leadership team, the creative team, whatever it may be, or even if it's just like you have a really fun idea and you just want to text Kyle and let him know about it. There's always ways that you can contribute to make the hangar better, you know, for the people that come a year from now, the people that come 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. We want to improve the hangar and make it better for every single person that walks in. So I encourage you to give back and serve in that way. My next piece of advice is to reach out to all of the adults here, the entire team, Jess, Kyle, Chris, Sierra, Lindsay, Jackie, like they are all here for you. Small group leaders, like whether they're your leader or not too, like they are all here for you. Not because they have to be, but because they choose to show up and they choose to be. So please, like don't be afraid to reach out and just make connections with them. These people are the best, most loving, most selfless people, and I've been able to form the best relationships with them. My hangar experience wouldn't have been so great if I hadn't have been so close with a lot of these adults, and I'm gonna miss them like crazy. I promise you, they all want to be friends with you. They want to make the connection, so never be afraid to reach out to them in good times and bad times, because that's what they are there for. My next piece of advice is this is probably my favorite piece of advice that I'm giving you, and that is to just let your guard down. Like I encourage you, just like have fun, make a fool of yourself, like go on stage and like do the crazy games that Kyle has before the service, you know, befriend random people. Lord knows I walked up to way too many cute guys during the hangar and just said, "Hi, my name's Emery, what's your name?" So if you're one of those people, I'm so sorry. But just high school environments can be so intimidating sometimes, especially, you know, if you're walking into the hangar for the first time, it can be overwhelming. But just don't worry about what other people are thinking or whether you have to appear this way or that way. Just be yourself. Like embrace the crazy in the hangar, embrace the fun, and because you're never going to get that somewhere else, and once it's gone, you know, and I'm gonna miss that so much. So I encourage you to just lean into the crazy, love it, like do it, like jump around and worship, like crowd surf, like just do it all, embrace the crazy. And then finally, my last piece of advice is to know that you are loved and to spread that love to others. Because every single person in the hangar is valuable and special and unique, and the hangar wouldn't be the same without each and every person that makes it up. Everyone here has something special to offer, and there are so many people that care about you, and never forget that. The first step is to believe that yourself, and furthermore, the second step is to make sure that you show that love to others. Like I said, you know, high school environments can be intimidating and scary, and the hangar can be overwhelming at first. But just make it your job and make sure you do your part to reach out to others and make this place just the most loving, inviting, welcoming place that you can possibly do. Make sure that every single person who comes through those doors feels welcome. You know, everyone can do their part. There's enough hate and enough judgment and terrible feelings in the world, and we want to make the hangar and just fill it with love. We don't want it to be a place where we have to worry about gossip or drama or anything like that, any hate. Just do your part to make sure that it's full of love and that you are showing love to every single person in that space that you can. I could literally go on for hours and hours about this place, but for real, the hangar and FCC in general, they've given me so much these past few years, and it has truly made high school a bearable place. I don't know what I would have done without the hangar. It's impossible to sum up my whole experience in this short talk, but this was my best attempt. And I hope that through sharing my hangar experience and the lessons that I've learned in my uncomfortable moments, that you guys can realize what a special, impactful community that you are so lucky to be a part of. And hopefully my advice and stuff like that will encourage you to step outside of your comfort zone and make the most of your hangar experience. Thank you to the hangar family for this experience like no other. It is truly unforgettable. I will never forget it. Good luck to my fellow seniors moving on, and to all of you who are lucky enough to have more time in the hangar. Don't take it for granted. Embrace every moment and have fun. Thanks, guys.
Well, let's try that again. I think I'm on now. Hello, Emery. Um, thank you so much for that message, for that word. There were so many things in that I learned from, and things that I hope we can all dig into to continue to make this place super special, and it is. And I just want you to know I appreciate it. I'm going to miss you, and I appreciate everything that you had to say tonight. I'm going to miss all of you seniors. You know, it's always hard to say goodbye. We're always glad to see you when you come back and visit us, but it's always hard to say goodbye. And to be 100% honest, it's even a little harder this year because of the way that things have gone and the way school ended. It's been tough. But we love you. We appreciate you. We're excited to see what happens in the future for you guys, and we're looking forward to seeing what God does in your life as we go forward. Before we go, I just want to I want to say a special word. This is not how, also again not how I'd hoped that this would end, and this isn't the only way that we're going to say thanks to you guys. But I just wanted to take a minute before we go tonight to say a special thank you to our small group leaders who led these seniors this year and for many, many years. So Chris and Brian and Zach and Andy and Jess and Katie and Sarah. All of you have served with us for a really long time. Some of you for such a long time, it's unbelievable. We were talking to Andy the other night. Andy has re-upped to be a leader many, many years. For years, I asked Zach Stafford to come and be a leader, and then he finally said yes. And not only did he say yes, he stuck with these guys for the whole time, all those years, 6 years of leading them from 7th grade until 12th grade. And that is also true for many of you. Angela and Jess, you guys have poured so much into your girls. When I see them interact with you, I love seeing that. And not only in person, but on social media. I just thank all of you. Katie, we miss you. We're so glad that you served all these years. We're so sorry that we didn't get a proper goodbye either because you had to move and we had this crazy time. And Sarah digging in as a student and leading all those years was so awesome. Chris and Brian, you guys have switched around a couple of times. Brian, you jumped in. Chris, you jumped in when we needed you to these groups. And so we're eternally grateful for your investment in the hangar, our student ministry, and in these students. And we're going to be properly honoring you in some other ways coming up here. And so, but I just wanted to take this moment that I had to thank you guys. So guys, we will be back with you next week. It's Father's Day next weekend. So we're going to do one service at 6:30. And then we've got a service after that, just a solo service. And then guess what? Oh, it's July 5th after that. And we are back. Okay. Make sure that you're going to be here on the 5th. We timed out. I think we timed out on, we're still on YouTube though. If you're watching us on YouTube, we timed out on the hangar. Anyway, see you on July 5th for our live service. So long, everybody.